Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Michael, and I am exploring all the different ways that stationery can bring me joy. Welcome to my third installment of Michael's Marginalia. These are videos where I kind of stitch together different stationery-related things that are happening in my life. I'm really excited to start off this third chapter by introducing a new lineup into my Traveler's Notebook Brigade. I have my olive standard Traveler's Notebook that I have been using. If you are familiar with my journey, you've seen this before. And I have some, new additions to my ecosystem, if you will. And I wanted to introduce one of those today. So my olive standard edition, or standard size of the Traveler's Notebook, it's been getting pretty beat up, getting a little aged. You'll see that I've kept the New York City subway token, but I've added this currency from Hong Kong that I found in a shop on the Upper West Side. And the reason I added that is because this is now exclusively my travel notebook. So in opening it, I got the fabric pocket insert. It has a larger pocket here, and then these three tri-pockets. And I figure, as this will be the notebook that I'm going to actually travel with when I go on my next trip, this is a little bit more secure than the craft folder that I had before, which is still here in the center to kind of hold some larger papers. But if I have smaller ephemera, I have this pocket, as well as now in the back the zipper pocket that I can store things in. There's already some stuff in there. And so my New York City travel journal is here for all of the really fun New York City experiences that I have been having. I'm still journaling about them in here. And I have just currently a Love and Trip notebook kind of as a placeholder for my next actual trip outside of the city. I don't know if I'll actually use this insert for that, but I bought this when the Love and Trip came out because I just kind of loved the gold foil and the idea of the little cards inside, and I bought the pencil board. So this could be for my next trip, depending on the length, and that is there. So in my olive notebook, I now have this fabric, my New York City travel journal, craft folder, kind of a placeholder for my next trip, and the back of this pocket insert with the zippered pocket. And then all of that is wrapped up in one spot with the kind of edge guard that I created myself. I can link to that video here of where I took a piece of leather and some leather crafting tools that I got at a discount and kind of created this strip. The addition to my Traveler's Journal lineup, now that this is exclusively my travel journal, you might say, didn't you have a stationery notebook that you, Michael, talked about all of your stationery journeys in? And that has been moved to my Blackwing collaboration Traveler's Notebook in the standard size. I was not really super seeking this out. I had seen this before, on the internet, and thought that it was really lovely. And I was on Facebook Marketplace, and I saw somebody selling it for, I believe it was $25. And I, the notebook with the charm, no insert, and I was so excited to find it. Knowing that I have an insert where I just talk about stationery, it seemed almost like perfect, too good to pass up, to have the Blackwing pencil edition to house that. So I have the Blackwing charm on here, as well as the Yoseka Stationery collaboration charm with Superior Labor now attached to the string. And when we open it up, I have just an insert in here for kind of calendaring out. My thought is to kind of calendar out plans for different like content that I can like add for this channel, and take notes on like different ideas I have for videos and things, since that is stationery related, because this is my stationery channel. I have the craft folder insert. I have my collection insert here that I created. I can link to this video as well, where I kind of ruminated on perfection, as well as created a space to swatch my Tombos and other swatches to come. And then my stationery journal, where I have been where I have been journaling about my stationery journey. And this has been highly featured in many different things. Most recently, talking about my thoughts on the Hobonichi 2026 release, and the preview that I went to. So yeah, in here, that is now where I have all of my kind of stationery related inserts, and I'm just so excited that I got to find this for such a reasonable price. The person who sold it to me was just like, oh, I never really write in it, and I was so happy to take it and give it a new home. It was in like pretty amazing condition, and now it is here with my Olive, and they are brothers in arms in my journaling ecosystem, and I'm just really excited to have both of these. I've seen other creators and like the different like editions of things, editions of the Traveler's Notebooks that they have, and I'm excited to kind of have my two now, and for them to have such distinct purposes. And I'm excited to see how they grow and change over time with me. And yeah, so, I'm just really excited to have this as part of my collection. So that is the first part of this Marginalia chapter. And so I'm going to kick it over to other Michael, who will be setting up one of my stationery related birthday gifts that I have had but have not really had the time to set up properly, and I'm excited to do that with you guys. So I will catch you with other me soon. Hello and welcome. Thank you, other Michael, for introducing this next segment. I am really, really excited to be able to finally play with and set up a gift that I received on my birthday. My birthday being in late July is right around the time when things really start gearing up for prepping for school to start back up for me. As an administrator, my school starts in late August. We actually just had our first day of school 2 days ago, and right after my birthday is when, as admin, we kind of go into crunch time to prepare everything for teachers, get the building ready, and get ourselves situated for the next school year in a really like nose to the grindstone kind of way. And so I haven't had a big opportunity to set up one of the gifts that I received. This was a lovely gift from one of my best friends, and a lot of my friends, as I talked about earlier in an earlier video, really answered the rally to celebrate and enable my stationery addiction. And so I am very excited that one of my friends for my birthday got me a Delfonics pouch. And so, having seen other people out journaling and things using this, I know how convenient this can be to carry all of your tools. Actually, My husband and I are going to be going on a coffee shop date tomorrow. He is getting his PhD, and so sometimes we'll go and read together, and he'll have all his little post-it tabs and doing his thing, and I get to bring either my own reading or more recently some of my stationery things to work on, and I'm really excited to have this as one of the bags that I get to carry and fill up and organize and kind of just throw into my tote bag. So I'm excited to set that up. So just going to yank this out of the bag here. Nice little tag. I'm going to just snip that off. And let's take a look inside here. So, I got it in this lovely mustard color. I'm very excited. This is one of the colors that I really enjoyed in these bags, so my friend chose really well. We've got the 2 pockets here in the front. We've got the pen pockets here as well. The 2 larger pockets. And then in the back, smaller pocket, this pocket here. And with Velcro, we've got the bigger back pocket. We zipper open. We can see there's some room to expand in here, and 2 pockets on this side, and 2 pockets on this side as well. So really excited. So I have some things to decorate this pouch. I have recently gotten some pins, some that I've just purchased and some that I've had laying about to add on to here. And so I'm trying to figure out where these are going to go. Well, I feel like this heart is smaller, so it's going to show in this space. Well, pens are going to go here, so I don't want to block this area. But maybe I can put or do I want to? Here, let's see. Can I get this guy in here? I thought that this heart was a nice contrasting color. And I've always had an affinity for the heart symbol. Okay, that's looking pretty nice. Should I put the key next to it? Or should I put the key maybe going down? This would look kind of cool. I just worry that it would not let a pen kind of go in. I could also just do it horizontal here as well. Well, I kind of like that it fits perfectly between the tag and the edge of the bag. Okay, that's kind of fun. Now I'm wondering if I should move this heart. I guess it depends on where else I put some of these. I've got my Loaf on Paper pin that I purchased recently at Loaf on Paper. Also with some birthday money that was given to me, I got a gift card to Nico Neko Zakaya. And I also got this illustrated enamel pin of a letter and envelope. Decisions. Whoa. Well, I really like where the key is. I'm not excited to be poking multiple holes into this bag, so let me mess around with this a little. Okay, I think for now I'm pretty happy with that. I might move some things around. Don't know how it's going to hold up with putting things in these pockets. But definitely not mad at the way that this looks. So, now the idea is packing it up. I did see recently somebody online who stitched these pockets. They put like an X of thread to kind of create more individualized things so things won't slide around. And depending what I end up packing on here, I might do that myself because that seemed like a really smart idea. But for now, I'm going to pack this up so that tomorrow I can throw this into my tote bag and be ready to go with my husband. So some of the things that I think I want to accomplish tomorrow are, one, I want to add some more entries into my media journal. You know, some of the shows and movies that we've been watching. Want to get that in there, so I'm definitely going to be bringing that along. So I guess we can pop this in to here. It seems like this would just go, or can an A6 fit? Whoa. Almost. Whoa! That's crazy. This pocket is big enough to fit a whole journal. I don't think that I would do that just because I wouldn't want it like flapping around on the outside like that, but that's pretty impressive. I mean, I could probably almost get it in back there too, but I'm just going to tuck her into the inside for now. A task that I could do, well, maybe I listen to like an audio book if I want to, is cutting up some PET tape. And so I have this PET tape that I also got with my birthday gift card at Nico Neko. So I'm going to kind of pop this open. Oh my gosh, I always get so scared. Pop that in. I'm going to save this for the label for later. And so, yeah, this is not kiss cut. So I'm going to need to cut some of this up, and usually when I cut up PET tape, I put it in this Kaweko tin, so you can see some of the ones that I've cut up before kind of already floating around in here. So I'm going to take these two along with my little scissors to do that, although I am a little worried that these are sharp and they might poke the fabric, but do they fit in here? Oh, the answer is yes. So I'm going to tuck this in here, although I wonder, oh yeah, be too rattly around on the outside, although it does fit. I am going to just tuck it inside, as well as this roll of PET tape. Another thing that I could accomplish while I'm there is doing some happy mail or writing some postcards. I have this high tide case that I keep a lot of my postcards in to mail out and some extra stamps, and so I have some pen pals that I need to write to, and some post crossings to send. And so I'm going to pop this in here as well. That fits in there great. And then I have also going to be bringing along just, I've been trying to get back into writing poetry recently, and this is kind of like a random poetry little journal that I have. In case the mood strikes me, I can put in an entry or two in here. I'm going to slide that in. And then for my media journal, I use my pencil to sketch out the movie posters, so I'm going to add that on here. And I also use these Unipin water fade proof black ink pens, and so I'm going to add those in. I wonder if I can put the pencil in the same. Nope, too much. So put that like that. I also, so I have my things. I have, oh, I need my pen for writing. So I'm going to get my Energel Clenna and slide that here as well. I guess I can put the pencil with that guy. Lovely. And then I'm thinking, so that takes care of my media journal. I can also use my Energel in here. If I do want to use a fountain pen, I'm trying to figure out which one I'm going to take. And I think for the writing that I'm going to do, my Kaweko student, I recently refilled the ink on this. It's using a green ink. I think this will suit my needs for tomorrow. If I decide to go fountain pen in my poetry notebook, or even on the postcards, although I tend to just do regular, gel pen for that. I do need some washi tape for the postcards if I am going to send them. So I'm just going to bring out some of my washi sample cards and think about which one I'd like to bring with me. Let's see, I think that I'm going to go with I could bring out this like coffee one, and maybe this sparkly stars and moons to kind of add some things on there. Yeah, I think that that is good for now. So that will give me some washi to use if I need it. And that's going to slide in there just perfectly. And then I want to think about any stickers that I might want to slap in there. I don't think that my sticker booklet is going to fit. So yeah, I think I'm going to just keep it to that, only because my sticker release paper is in a little binder and I don't know if she's going to fit in here very well. So I've got all of my journaling material in here, my postcards. I've got some PET tape I can cut up, although I guess I could add that to the postcards if I wanted to. And that isn't even everything I could fit in here if I really wanted to. I feel like I could really load this up some more. But for my purposes tomorrow, I feel like this is excellent. So I'm going to zipper this up. I do think I have like a hanging charm or something that I can add to this. I think where is over here, I have this Hello Kitty Pacheco clip. He's pretty cute, and I got him in a blind box, and I'm wondering if clipping this to the... You know what? This is actually useful because it also doubles as a clip if I need to use it in one of my notebooks. So I'm going to add that here to the side. But that does make me think maybe I should bring an extra clip just in case. So I'm going to grab my Coffee Monster Co. clip, smack her right here, or I guess him, and then boom, I have my whole setup for tomorrow that I can take with me and go journaling. I'm really excited to see all the different things that I can kind of shove in here for different things that different types of journaling or, other things that I want to do. I love the fabric. It feels really great. It's so roomy. I'm not even using this, I think, to I'm probably at 55% of what I could probably cram into this puppy. I also like that it does have these little loops. I could definitely get a strap and just make this into kind of like a crossbody. And then I don't even need a tote bag. Although I don't know if I would have my pens kind of flapping in the wind here, but I could always tuck them inside. Yeah, this is really great. I'm really excited about this. Thank you so much to my friend who got this for me. Justine, if you're watching, I just love this. And I am really excited to head out tomorrow with this. And I think as far as this episode of Marginalia goes, there's one more thing that I'm planning to kind of include, and so I'm going to pop it over to other Michael, who will take us home. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me for this portion, and I'm absolutely loving this. I can't wait to talk more about it and see how my use for it kind of changes over time. Alright, I will see you in the last part. Alright, welcome to the last part of this Marginalia, where I thought it would be great to give you kind of a peek into my reading notebook, and kind of work along with me while I do a quick entry on a book that I've been reading. My reading notebook is a Stalogy 365 in the doc grid, and it's pretty simple. I put a stamp every entry. It's a Midori stamp that is self-inking, and I then just kind of take notes as I'm reading through the book. This is the first time, though, that I am doing kind of like a joint audio and physical reading of a book. My book club chose this book, Proto, How One Ancient Language Went Global by Laura Spinney. It is a nonfiction book about the Proto-Indo-European language. And she's a little dense, and the date for book club is coming upon us, and with the school year, getting geared up to begin and now beginning, I just haven't had as much time to physically read. So some of the reading I've done is in this book, and then some I pick up in the audio book on my commute to and from work, or while I'm doing chores around the house. And so I haven't had a lot of time to actually take notes as I've been reading, and so I just want to kind of catch up with some notes in here from top of my mind, and also just that I've kind of written down on some scraps of paper that I have here to get my thoughts down, so that I have it all in one place, not only to keep the record in my reading notebook, but to also have ready for when I do book club. And so for this part of the Marginalia, I just thought I would kind of set this part up, take some notes, maybe speed it up a little, play some music, just so that you can see how I use my reading notebook, and perhaps you have some work that you'd like to do along with me while I get through it. So without further ado, we're going to kind of just jump in. Alright, well, this brings us to the end of the notes that I have for the intro, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 of Proto. You can see that my system's pretty simple. Taking some notes. I use a separate language for when I need to define words, or perhaps if they're in a different language, so that I can see them really easily. To write this is I use my Mahjohn retractable pen. This is my Kaweko Sport. This is the Orangina colorway. This is inked with Antigua ink in the color Toffee, and I believe that this is inked with Twisby Black. Something that's really interesting to note is that when I write on the back side of where this stamp has been inked, it always causes the ink to kind of spread thicker or almost feather. Not quite bleed through, but definitely ghost. And it's interesting because it happens for some inks, but not for others. So you can see here that feathering or that kind of spread of the ink has happened with this pen, but not with this one. And I believe this is the Atramentis Archive ink. And so it's fascinating that that can sometimes cause the ink to react and sometimes not. But it's definitely happening here with this TWSBI black ink as I was writing. I would love to know if you keep a reading journal, what it looks like, what notebook do you keep it in. I think that that would be really interesting to hear your method in the comments if you would like to share. This is heavily based off of, Helen from the Coffee Monster Co. and her reading notebook. I have tried in the past to have more complicated reading journals where I list the books and give ratings and things like that. And when I saw how simple hers was, she doesn't use a stamp, she uses a sticker that she makes for hers, and then just writes. And I realized that I had been overcomplicating things. And this is the first reading notebook that I've kept up in, because it's literally just a place to jot down notes or my feelings about a book, and not necessarily has all the bangs and whistles of like, color in this spine to show a book you've read, and prompts and all of these things. It's just here's a book, here's my thoughts, and then when I finish, I move on to the next one. And I have a lot of space in this notebook, so I look forward to a great collection of books and my thoughts about them as we go through. But yeah, thank you for joining me for this part of the Marginalia, and I'm going to kick it to maybe 5 seconds from me now to kind of wrap up this video. Thank you so much for joining me in this third chapter of Michael's Marginalia. I hope that it was as enjoyable for you to see my new traveler's notebook, to kind of set up my Delfonics pouch, and to do some reading journaling with me as it was for me to do those things. I would love to know in the comments about your traveler's notebook system. What traveler's notebooks do you have? How many do you have? Are they all the same size? Do you do passport standard? Any collaborations you might own. I'd love to know also if you own a Delfonics pouch or something similar, and what do you use it for? How often do you use it? I know some people have a pouch just to carry around their house. I tend to sit at my desk most of the time when I'm journaling, but I could see having my materials in there would make it easier for me to like pop over to the living room to do some of my journaling work. I'd love to know how you use a pouch or any other system or a preferred bag that you might have. And like I said, I'd love to hear about your reading journaling and how that process works for you if you do keep a reading journal. Until next time, I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, whether it's a couple of minutes because you're watching this later in your day, or whether there's a whole day ahead of you because it's earlier in the morning. I hope that it's wonderful. Until I see you again, please keep exploring all the possibilities that a blank page can bring you, and I will catch you next time. Bye-bye.